saying that nothing could really interfere with your painting. Have you ever had any negative responses to your work, and how would that ever affect you?
No, I have no negative responses to my work. People come in my gallery and they just smile and they say, I love your colors, they make me happy. Men are really turned on by my work as well. You think men don't like flowers? Well, that's a big mistake. They love poppies. Painting to me is so much a part of me. People say to me, do you have to be in the mood to paint? No. All I have to do is go back to my studio and just crank up the music. And music is a huge part of what I do. I've never painted without music. I listen to music from all over the world. I'm really into global music from Africa and India and Greece and Spain, and with the notes and the harmony of the notes, my paintings are actually harmonious, just like music is harmonious. I have this innate ability to put colors together, and this is something that I think is very hard to teach people. You either have it or you don't. This ability to know which colors vibrate when they sit next to one another, and that's what excites people when they look at my work. I've seen a lot of quotes, important art, that to me is just meaningless. It doesn't speak to the people looking at it. And I feel I'm an Impressionist painter, so I leave enough space in my art for people to become a part of the art, to use their imagination, to say to me, oh, where was that? And I say, in my heart. Oh, do you not look at a picture when you paint? Do you not set up something when you paint? No, I only paint from my imagination. And my imagination allows that painting to become whatever I want it to be. It becomes my dreams. It becomes my travels. You can hear just as soon as I start to speak about my art, I'm just so passionate about it. I just absolutely love what I do.
So do you feel like your music influences your art? Like the different type of music you listen to affects the finished product?
Absolutely. You know, obviously, when I'm listening to Spanish music, to flamenco music, I mean, you can imagine how exciting the painting becomes. Yeah. And when I'm listening to music from Somalia, from East Africa, from India, I mean, it's just so full of life and color, the music itself, that my paintings become that. And I have this ability that I don't know what I'm going to paint. I don't plan it. I don't do workup drawings. I don't do anything. I just go in my studio, I just turn on the music, and I just start to paint, and I go into another world. And that world that canvas speaks to me. I'm not sure where it's going. I mean, I'm completely the opposite of a lot of painters, I know that, but that's why we're all so different. And I think that's what people pick up as the excitement in my work, is that it isn't labored. It's very free, it's very passionate, and it's very colorful.
Now, you've experienced many different cultures, whether being there or listening to their music or studying them. Do you feel like that affects your paintings in the different environments you paint?
Absolutely. I've traveled around the world. I've been to a lot of countries. And I actually was born in Cyprus, and I was raised in England, so I'm part Greek. And there is something about Europe, and there's something about travel that I think expands people so much. I feel for people that have never traveled, because they can't possibly understand what it's like to live in a different way, to live in a different climate, to live in a different atmosphere, to mix with people of color, any color. I remember when I was on my way to Africa, which took a couple of days, I had to take 3 planes, and by the time I got on the 3rd one, I realized I was the only white person. And that was interesting for me. And the interesting part was that I was so accepted there by tribespeople and by villages, and it was very humbling for me.
Now, what would keep you motivated the most to keep painting, even like throughout your whole life? Like, what keeps you going and makes you never want to stop?
That's a difficult question. I don't really understand that myself. In fact, the older I get, and I'm 67 years old, the more the flame becomes brighter for me. Maybe it's the knowledge that there is an end to my life. You know, when you're young, you don't think about that. You think it's always tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And suddenly I realize that although I look younger than my age and I act younger than my age, I see that big 7-0 looming in front of me, and I'm having a hard time coming to grips with that because it's so not me. I'm so not a senior. You have no idea. But I think that is part of what makes me keep on passionately going, because I don't know how long I can go for. I mean, who knows? It's hard to say, but I'm never not in the mood to paint. It's just such a passion for me. It's just an ongoing thing every single day. And when I'm not painting, I'm cooking. I'm a great cook. And I think that all holds together, the music, the cooking, the painting. It's all part of being creative.
Do you paint for yourself, or do you feel like you paint to make others happy?
I think it's a bit of both. But I'm not a formula painter. In other words, you know, I don't really set out to make a certain person like what I do. No. It has to be because as I've said, because I listen to my canvas and because I work with the painting, it's telling me where to go. It's really strange to explain, but the canvas and myself, I become the painting. I become the place. So it would be hard to say I'm painting it for someone else, because when I look at that piece of work, it has to be right for me. When I look around my gallery, there is nothing that I can say, oh, you know, I should have put that there, or I should have done that. I'm 100% happy with everything that goes up in my gallery for a sale.
Now, do you think that had you never broken your arm, you would still be here today?
No.
No.
I think, on top of all this, I'm a motivational speaker. Probably you're not surprised to hear this. But the title of my talks is Life is What Happens to You While You're Busy Making Other Plans, which is a line I borrowed from John Lennon. But if I hadn't broken my arm, I wouldn't have really started painting in earnest. It changed the way I feel about people and about people helping people.